So let's do a quick test here, see if we're in focus. And today I'm going to talk about how to stay in focus and how to achieve your goals and dreams with stock music. Hello guys, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Daniel and welcome to Stock Music Licensing. If this is your first time around here, or if you're new here in my channel, I make stock music for a living, and I focus on actually how can we get our music out there and be available for sale on royalty-free sites, and how to work for yourself or as a side income. So one of the most important things that I've learned in my journey is to stay focused. And in the beginning, this was something that was really hard for me. And actually, I'm gonna go and rewind a little bit more. Before I did stock music for a living, I was a little bit of a lost musician, kind of like a rebel without a cause. Actually, I remember at some point my wife mentioning, somebody asked her, what do I do with my music? Because I had the studio and I have the space, I had all the guitars and everything, but I had nothing to show for, you know. And you know, I have moved from England. I was working in a guitar shop for many years, and that was my I guess my path in terms of music career. But you know, it's retail at the end of the day, or it was retail for me at the end of the day, and I was just selling instruments. But you know, it kind of like justified my existence in a way, like I can say, like, okay, I'm rock and roll. You know, I work in a guitar shop. You know, I live in London, and you know, I thought to myself that was enough. But you know, in the back of my head, I knew I could always do more, and I always felt a little bit jealous of my co-workers or friends who actually had a band on the side, and they will do gigs and whatnot. They will be involved always on something else. And for me, the lack of focus was like devastating back then. Now, when we came to Greece, that was actually even multiplied by 10 or 20 times or 100 times more. I have the studio, I have the gear, I have all the equipment, you know, and I cannot justify having it. And by that I mean that, you know, that I guess I saw in myself that I had a lot of potential, but yet I didn't know where to focus on that potential, you know. And I have always done guitar lessons here and there to earn some money on the side, but you know, nothing serious enough to say this is a business for me, you know. And I think my wife as well saw that, and I guess she didn't want me to be a wasted potential. And the same for myself, you know. Even though I don't need the opinion of nobody, not even the opinion of my wife, I knew that I didn't want it to be the wasted potential. So when I came across stock music, because of necessity, it actually it was almost like a godsend. And for me, it was the perfect opportunity for me to say, you know what, I'm not gonna go and join a band. I'm not gonna go and do guitar lessons anymore. I'm not gonna be producing other people's music on the side, which I have done all of these things, but nothing really serious enough to say I'm gonna build a business on this and actually commit myself 100%. So when I came across all these sites and I did my research online, and realized that you can actually make music and sell it. Now the problem was that I didn't know what commercial music was or what royalty-free music was, and I had to study a lot and actually focus on composition, focus on my actual productions, which have gotten better and better over the years on mixing. You know, there's so much information on YouTube on how to mix, how to master your music, how to actually produce your music. And you know, I got caught up in the same mentality of consuming all this information, all this content about how to do it. But you know, I still had to get rid of everything in my path and actually compose the music and start uploading. You know, and I will never forget the first music track that got accepted on the first website I joined in was Audio Jungle. I did a research and I did a massive list of all the sites that I wanted to join in, and that's a funny anecdote actually. Audio Jungle was the only site that was not on my list, funny enough. And I came across this list on a piece of paper somewhere, like when I was cleaning my studio. And it was such a funny thing to see all these other sites, Pawn 5, Lockstock, Production Tracks. And I had them all as a target to start uploading, and Audio Jungle was not on there, you know. So it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing because I make most of my income with Audio Jungle, and I'm trying to replicate that same success on other sites like Pawn 5, Production Tracks, 123RF, Melody Loops, and Audio Micro and some other ones. And so anyways, I will never forget the first music track that got accepted on Audio Jungle. And it was the 1st of May of 2014. And I was just delighted to have my profile there with one song. It never occurred to me that, you know, I could actually do that, and I was just so focused on it. And you know, and I went down that path, and I just eliminated everything else, you know, and just stay focused on making commercial music. And that helped me a lot, and it has helped me to this day to improve my skills, my production, my composition skills as well. And even though it's commercial music, even though it's advertisement music, and some musicians don't agree with this type of music because they consider this a little bit cheesy and cheap, I take a lot of pride in it, because I actually pay the bills with this, and I eat and I support my family. And it has done so much more than just that. It has done for me as a musician and as a producer just so much more focus. And I hold my head up high nowadays, and I got this sense of purpose, you know, and to the point that actually I'm embarking on different things, like vlogging about it, for example. I want to actually start making my own albums more artistically now, because of the focus on just one thing, which has been the stock music. Other areas have come up, you know, have other possibilities have come up, you know, by just focusing on one thing, you know. So that focus has been so tight that not only I said I'm gonna just do stock music and actually get really good at it and earn money with it, and then I said, okay, but what style of music, you know? And I didn't know what corporate music was, and I focused on that, and it's something that I'm still working on. And then I said, like, okay, I'm a guitar player. How can I, what other values can I bring into the marketplace in terms of royalty-free music? How can I compete with other composers, even though I don't really believe in much in competition? I know it might sound a little bit cheesy and hippie kind of thing, but you know, we all have something to offer, you know, to the marketplace, and it's just a matter of actually being of value, being of service. We all want to be of service to somebody and to something. And I remember me working in the guitar shop, funny enough, and I had a friend of mine who, when I will get really frustrated and wind up with everything, with work and life in general, he told me, well, you know, imagine if you get all that frustration and all that anger and all that energy and put it in one place, you know. And I never forgot that, you know, because I do have a lot of energy and a lot of, not anger, but I have a lot of internal drive, you know. When I'm in the wrong situation, I actually could be very destructive, you know, and focus so much on something, you know. And I said, like, I just have to just switch that focus, you know. And it took me years to do that, and that always stuck with me, you know. I will always be grateful for him for saying this thing. He said it more than once, you know. Imagine what can you do, Daniel, if you had all this frustration and all this anger and use it in the right way. And today I live by that, you know. And for me is actually to stay so focused as a musician, as a producer, as a businessman, because I want to see myself as a business person, and I make music strictly for commercial purposes, you know. And there's no, I don't feel ashamed about that. It actually gives me so focused to, and I'm so free to embark on other projects on the side, because I have nurtured this focus. Make myself work, make myself sit down, start with a blank page, and do a song, sell it, you know. And the money reflects the validation or the value that I'm giving to the customer, or to the video maker, or to whoever is buying the music, you know. So anyways, man, just a quick video on, you know, I think it's a very important subject. For you, it might be a different story. For you, maybe you are already a musician and you have your band and you're actually playing, or you're involved in different areas of music and you want to do stock music on the side, or you might feel curious, or you have seen a lot of people doing it maybe and wanna embark on that journey. And you know, I'm just sharing my journey, which has been completely I wouldn't say unique, but it's just mine, you know. And it has been one of self-discovery, and if you have seen other of my videos, you will see that I talk a lot about personal development and inspiration, I guess, or motivational. And you know, this is a byproduct of this lifestyle that I have, and that discipline and focus to actually get shit done, man, you know. And you know, as musicians, I feel that sometimes we could be very lazy or laid back, or we don't need to really practice, or if my mix are not sounding right, it's because I'm missing a plugin. And the reality is that we just need to do it, and we need to focus and fail and get better, and then rinse and repeat, you know. And over time we might see some improvement if we're brave enough to go down that path. Anyways, thanks a lot for all the love and support, for subscribing to my channel, and yeah, man, let's keep shit real always, and rock and roll. All right, see you on the other side of success.